Hey guys, Trevin here, Gearshift Garage, and I'm here,
Ben Bowles.
and tell us about this car.
Yeah.
This thing's insane.
Yeah. So this is a ZL1 1LE, and picked this up. It's a 2020. Picked it up a few years ago. This is kind of what started everything for me as far as motorsports and racing and that sort of thing.
Always a regular. Indianapolis, of course.
Picked this up. Just absolutely fell in love with road racing. I started tracking the car, doing high performance driving, club tracks, that sort of thing. And then shortly after we picked it up, my wife surprised the heck out of me, and Hennessey came up. They showed up and picked it up. So we took it down to Houston and got the 850 horsepower package put on it.
Dang.
So
what does that include?
Yeah, so that's new supercharger, better pulley, it's tuned, headers, X-pipe, and some other things. So they took it. It comes from the factory at like 650. So Hennessey took it up to the 850. Okay. And so we it had already ripped before, and now it's ridiculous.
Yeah, this thing's crazy.
But yeah, I started tracking this, and this was kind of what put me into the next level, right? So. Eventually got into late model, purchased a late model, started running late model that was set up for a road course. Had a lot of fun with that, but I really wanted to, go even further and really get in the racing world. So from there, we picked up a TA2 car. So I started getting into TA2, worked with a great team, Eagles Canyon, give them a shout out. They're down outside of Dallas and Decatur. Those guys really helped me kind of get into the road racing series and teaching me, learning TA2. So ended up going that route, got a TA2 car, started running club. Nice. And got my racing license. And from there, raced professionally in the Pro-Am with the TA2 series, so on the Speed Tour. So if any of you guys know the Speed Tour, know TA2, please check us out. Yeah. I'm number 69 with the blue Eagles Canyon wrap on it.
That's awesome. So how does a car like this compare? You're road racing a car like this.
Right.
I mean, we just took it for a rip, and it barely hangs onto the road,
yep.
right? This thing.
Yeah, and we've got street tires on it right now.
Yeah.
The big difference between like the TA2 cars and this is mainly we call them nannies, right? This car has a ton of stuff to help you drive it, right? It's got massive brakes with anti-lock, features on it, so you can mash the brake pedal. We put racing brake fluid and all that stuff in it, so it doesn't boil over and get too hot. But you can mash the brake pedal. It's got rev match, so it'll blip the throttle and stuff for you and that sort of thing. The TA2 car, total complete opposite. It's a raw race car built for one purpose, and that's to race. There's no nannies on it, no ABS, no blip, throttle control, that sort of thing. We run a K-Tech LS motor, LS3, built by K-Tech. It's like a 12 or 13 to 1 compression racing engine, and it's 4-speed road racing transmission. Yeah, so you just don't have any nannies on the car, and of course it's very rigid and built to really take a beating.
So someone who's getting into racing,
right,
would get into something like this.
Yeah, and that's a good path in my opinion. Like for those that want to get into kind of a next level of motorsports, or if they're new to it completely. And you don't have to go with, crazy ZL1, that's 650 or 850 horsepower. In my opinion, it's great if you want to start doing high performance driving, right? Everywhere in the States now, we've got club tracks, right? And they'll have like introduction to high performance driving. You go out there, kind of get the certifications that you need to run on the club track. But yeah, start on the club level. You can start, like a Camaro SS. You can change the camber on it. You can put some sticky tires on it. Maybe even put a roll bar in it with racing seats and a harness, and you can run those safely. Doing it that way for the high performance driving. So anyway, that's a good step to kind of get familiar with track etiquette, learning your apexes, learning your braking zones, all that sort of thing. And then if that's something you enjoy and you start getting good at, then potentially, you could take it to the next level. But
then this isn't, I guess I'm going to call it a waste, right? Like you could still drive this on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And that's one of the beautiful things. Like what I loved about the ZL1 1LE. Chevrolet set it up to be a track car that was streetable, right? So you still have your AC, you still have your, nice Bose speakers and all that sort of thing. An amazing suspension and all that. The first time I actually started with an instructor, a racing instructor. And when he took me out in this car, I didn't realize cars were capable of doing what they do on the track, especially if they're set up right with the right tires. And I was just blown away by it. And it's, I just got bit by the bug at that point. But yeah, it's something like this. It's streetable. You can take it to the track, go out and cruise, take the wife out to dinner, Saturday night or whatever. It's a great tool to have to, for both scenarios.
Yeah. I guess tell us a little more about it here. So, the package includes some suspension upgrades, braking upgrades,
right.
A tune.
So the ZL1 1LE already pretty much comes set up from the for track if you want to track it, right? So there's several things about like the front canards up front. They push air into the brake zone or into your braking areas around your rotors and your pads, so that helps keep stuff cool. So they set it up like that. You've got camber adjustments on the front tires to move them in and out, for track days and that sort of thing. 6-speed manual transmission. I won't buy a performance car without a manual. My wife, she drives a Z06, and I made her buy a manual as well. And she actually learned to drive a manual on that car.
Really? That's awesome.
But yeah, there's a ton of stuff set up. The way the arrow's set up, we've got the racing wing here in the back, and diffuser. The front canards, they help provide a lot of extra downforce on those front tires, so you can go through those turns confidently. Get the front end loaded up as you're going into turn to carry as much speed as you can while you're apexing. So, for something coming from the factory, it's just you can't beat it for a track car.
So compare this to you have your Chevy guys, you have your Ford guys. I want to go out and buy a Mustang. Could I be competitive?
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah. So if you're looking at other manufacturers like the Fords or the Dodges, I'm not too familiar with the Dodges. Like some of the Hellcats and that sort of thing would be comparable. Your Ford, I would probably, with the factory ZL1, I'd probably compare that to like a GT350 on the Ford side, on the Mustang side. So that'd be about equivalent. The 500 would be kind of equivalent with the Hennessey upgrade. Those two would be comparable.
What inspired you to go with the Camaro?
Yeah, I've if you go to my shop, you'll see a sign that says Chevrolet only. I've always been a GM guy. I love the LSs. They're so easy to work on. They're get parts everywhere, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, I've always been a Chevy guy. Just I don't know, the way I came up. Of course, I grew up in Southwest Virginia, so I was a NASCAR kid. Going to Martinsville and Bristol and Richmond and all that, and just always loved the Chevrolets and the LSs.
So Chevy it is.
Yep, Chevy it is for me, man.
Chevy here too.
Yeah, if you need Mustang guys out there, come find me. We'll line them up. So I'll show you what a real car looks like.
Perfect. Well, appreciate you just taking some time. He was swinging by just to
I got some body work, and that's another thing to keep in mind when you track these cars. It's difficult to keep it in like the show pristine condition. And some guys, when you go out and you splurge on a car, like just keep in mind, if you put it on the track, there's going to be some things that happen, and it's going to get some scrapes and that sort of thing. I tracked out a little too far and brushed the wall, so I've got Trevin here hooking me up on the bodywork.
A little bit of bodywork here, so
and a cracked windshield.
So we stole him real quick, so we could talk about the car, but hopefully we can really dive into your racing stuff and maybe get down to Texas one day.
I'd love to have you guys come out and follow us some racing. We got, we can maybe do some live streaming out of the car. We've got the smarty cams and that sort of thing. So,
that'd be really cool.
Stay tuned for that. We'll get some cool footage from race weekends.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.